walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing.
Elizabeth, and you are welcome to Life with Elizabeth. You're welcome to my YouTube channel. It's been like a really hot minute. I know I've been off the radar for a while, and I feel like I need to give an explanation, and I will. But this video is not for that. This video we're going to be talking about the newest and the most talked about movie on Netflix. And if you are a Netflix person like I am, if you're a movie person like I am, you already know the movie we're talking about, Bloodsisters. I think it's a collaboration between Moabudu's Ebony TV and Netflix, created by Temi Dayo. Oh, I hope I got that wrong. I hope I got that right. So yeah, and it was extremely star-studded. You have your like almost all your favorite actors are in that movie. Of course, you have Nancy Sime and Inidima Okoje as like the major actors, and then you have Kate Henshaw, you have Ramsey Nouah too is there, you have Gabriel Afolayan, you have like several others, like it's like everybody had their own part to play, no matter how small, or no matter how, even if it was just one scene. And the movie was actually interesting. If you have been following the buzz on Instagram, you would see that it has been like the most anticipated and the most talked about movie so far, and it premiered on Netflix on the 5th. That was yesterday. That was Thursday, and of course I watched it. It's a movie. I actually thought it was just going to be like a movie, this 2 hours, but it was actually a mini series. It had like 4 episodes in it, and yeah, 4 episodes for like an hour for every episode. But I feel like the 4 episodes I feel like the 4 episodes was actually worth it. The 4 hours I spent literally watching it was actually worth it. It's actually a crime thriller. So in this video, I'm not going to be doing so much of a spoiler, because I know that there are still some people that hasn't watched the movie, so I don't want to spoil so much. But I want to like give you, if you have watched it, well, you understand what I'm talking about. If you have not watched it, I want to give you like an incentive on what to look out for when you're watching it, and to really watch the movie. Like, it's like I'm not doing free advert for them, because it's a movie I would actually recommend to anybody that wants to like watch a really nice movie, like a really nice Nigerian movie, because it had the whole Nigerian vibes, the fashion, the songs, the whole, at this point they even said that the whole Nigerian lingo and everything. It just had like a blend of everything. And for a crime thriller series, a Nollywood crime thriller series, I feel like they actually got it right to an extent. They tried, like, yeah, although there are some things that will be like but then it's Nigeria, and they were able to actually manage it. So in this video we'll be talking about just a mini review of it. We're talking about the crime. Since it's a crime thriller series, there are some things that I saw, and there are some things that I know that I was like yeah, and there's something that nah. And also I'll be talking about my funniest moments, most heart-touching moments, and the cringe-worthy moments. And I'd also like for you to actually do it. I've been so rusty with this YouTube stuff that I have not even told you to subscribe. So please, if you're new here, please do well to hit the subscribe button, like, and drop a comment. Tell me what you think. If you have watched the movie, tell me what you think about the movie. If you've not watched the movie, please go ahead. You can ask questions and everything. And you can, if you're also new, you can watch my other videos to get in tune with me. I think I'll be doing a subsequent video after now, but let's dig right in, So yeah, Bloodsisters. It was a collaboration between Moabudu's Ebony Live TV and Netflix, and then it was created by, I think, Temi Dayo. I hope I got it right. And you had actors and actresses like, you had Gabriel Afolayan, you had Ideyemi, I hope I don't really spoil his name. You had Inidima Okoje, you had your delectable Nancy Sime, you had Ramsey Nouah, we had Kate Henshaw, we had Uche Jumbo, we even had Zach Orji at some point. We had I think now people are not even remembering that Tony Abraham was even in that movie. You had Joke Silva, like it was extremely star-studded. At some point I was like, who is not here? It was like all the Nollywood big shots, they were just there, even if it was just an appearance, but it was just there. It was cool, but it was really cool. It was like a dream come true, kind of like seeing all your favorite actors in one movie. Although I felt like to an extent it was unnecessary, if you permit me to say, because yeah, but it was still cool either way. Just seeing them alone was just cool. So the movie is it starts with an engagement ceremony, and like that a marriage is supposed to take place. And obviously if you start the movie, you notice that I don't even know how I want to even start this whole description, but there's a friendship, the friendship between Ini and Nancy, and Ini is about to get married to Deyemi, who is what's his name in the movie? I can't even remember. I can't even remember his name in the movie. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, she's about to get married to Deyemi. But apparently Deyemi is an abuser. He hits her. Oh my god. This hitting, there was this particular scene where like she wore a particular dress, and then he came and then he said, why didn't you wear the other dress? And she's like, oh, I felt comfortable in this dress. And it was like, go and change. For me, that's just a red flag. Imagine you getting all dressed up and then your supposed husband to be is now telling you to go and change that dress because he doesn't like it. Really? And then at a point, it got to a point where her ex-boyfriend came and created like a scene there. So when they were inside the room and she was trying to explain, you could see that he was really, really angry, and he was like fueling with rage and everything. The way he hit her was different. It would tell you that this person is not normal, because he was not even slapping her. He was like, he gave her like a huge blow to her tummy, and she had to literally crawl out. And this was somebody that she was going to get married to like the next day. It was really annoying. And then you had like, it's like this kind of thing where she came from a really poor, not really poor background, but like an average family, and him is like from a very renowned rich family. Of course you can see Kate Henshaw there as the matriarch, and as the matriarch of the family, and it's like that. And this other guy, obviously you see him is very spoiled and all that, but I'm not going to give an in-depth like view of it. But the bottom line is that at some point the guy died. Like she told her friend, and the friend was like, she told her friend and Sinsime like, this is what the guy does to me. And she didn't really tell the friend, but the friend kind of like noticed, and she had to confess. And while she was telling, like, okay, the friend was like, you cannot get married to this guy. So on the day of the traditional marriage, when she called him and she told him that she didn't want to get married, like at that point I was like, how do you tell, you know, somebody is mad, somebody is volatile, and you call him and you tell him on the day of the marriage that you don't want to get married to him? Like for me, I feel like before you even call him, you shouldn't even, once you have made up your mind that you're not getting married to him, you should have an escape plan. When you're calling him, before he's realizing that you're not even there, you're already in the airport ready to go out of another country. It's like you pouring kerosene in fire and expecting it not to explode. Like, what was she expecting? Was she expecting that he would be like, okay, no problem, I respect your decision? Really? The man is a psycho. He's an egotistic psycho, for crying out loud. Either ways, he will want to assert himself because he will not want to be humiliated. And in the process of the struggle, a friend tried to save her and she kind of shot him, and that's where the whole thing came true. And you could see in the other scenes different things play out. But significant thing is that they said that they became fugitives. But it was funny, like compared to other crime thrillers, they caught them easily. And while I was looking at it, I'm like, okay, while in Nigeria we don't really explore the forensics department of the police yet, because we don't have such equipment, or we don't have access to such resources yet. But from the findings, they were able to notice that it was them, based on the footage from the hotel. But even that, they did not see them in the act. So I think if it was like in another country, if it was like a Hollywood movie, they would have like explored more, because you cannot base your suspicion based on seeing people carrying a bag and then automatically you feel like that. And they did not like secure the whole crime scene. It was a bit vague in that area, but we can forgive them for that, because we know it's acted in Nigeria, it's a Nigerian setting, and we know that things like that really don't happen, like forensics and all that. They just make do with the kind of they just make do with the evidence that is available at that time. But one thing that stood out very well in the movie was the friendship that she shared with her friend. It's that literal ride or die friendship, like that moment where I'm with you. Like they had like good moments where at some point, you know, I was expecting for them to have a kind of squabble between them, where maybe the friend is like, if you had left him from the beginning, all these things would have happened. And then maybe Ini is like, if you had not killed him. But they didn't have such squabbles. Like they, despite the difficulties and everything, they were still able to navigate it together and know that either ways they are together, whether they are going down or whether they are trying to escape it, they are going down. If other things played out, they tried to put in some other things. Like also they got to a point where, you know, in Nigeria, when somebody tries to help you and you feel like it's too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true. Because at that point, they got to a point where they met people that was supposedly good Samaritans, but it turned out that the people, they were actually organ traffickers. And that English is actually correct. They were actually people that traffic organs and all, but they were able to come out of that one. It was just a whole, you know how the whole crime, I don't want to do a lot of spoilers, so I don't want to give you real details of the movie, but in all, it was actually nice. Even at the ending and everything, it played out well, although it ended in a bit of a cliffhanger. But it's that kind of cliffhanger that you can actually decide how it ends in your head, because either way it will be good. Like at the ending, at the end of the movie, I was actually very satisfied with it. And also for me, the movie is actually a good movie. It's something that you actually should watch. I think it's coming at a point in time when this domestic violence is like, everything is very rampant. And as it is, it might seem like a movie, but this kind of things happen. It happens every day. And yes, there was the man, the DME that died. He had a kind of, no, it's not DME that died, it's the person that acted. Who was his name? I've still forgotten his name. Oh yes, I actually still forgotten his name. But he had a fetish where he not only like beats, he would beat them, like abuse them physically, and then he would tell them to pose while he takes like a sketch of it. Like, how insane can that be? And for them to actually come out with that kind of thing is actually a very good creation, because you'll be surprised the kind of things people do. Anyway, so that's it about the review. I'm sure it's really, really vague and I'm still rusty a bit, but I feel like with this you should be able to still be interested in watching the movie. If I missed anything, please tell me in the comment section. So now let me tell you why I feel like at some point, since it's a crime thriller, why I feel like, okay, they got the good part. Do you know, if you watch the movie, at that point when they were trying to dispose the body and they like literally, okay, they literally cut off the head, and they now decided that, okay, they're not going to cut off the head, they're not going to cut off other parts again. But the part that got me, and I'm like, it was when they actually got to the place where they were trying to bury the body. And imagine burying the murder weapon and the body in the same place. You know that in a normal crime thriller, it doesn't really happen. You don't bury the body and the murder weapon, because if they find the body, okay, they might still not know who killed the person. But if they find the body and the murder weapon, because of DNA and everything, that means they would definitely trace what happened, like in a normal crime thriller. But we could forgive them because they did not really talk about the whole DNA stuff. They just knew that it was a gun that he was killed with and everything. So that place was just big. But for me, that place was like, when they were doing that, I was like, really, who buries a body with the murder weapon there? But I think it's too much of crime thrillers that I have watched. So at that part I was like, but there was also the part where they were the whole, in fact, it was actually, to an extent, it was actually really good. And also now my funniest scene, yeah, my funniest scene was with this new actress. Actress, like, I think she just made her debut. I've not really seen her in any movie before. She played Timei in the sister of Gabriel and the person that died in the movie. She's like this whole smart person that is also a drug addict that has some kind of issues. It's when that first scene when she came in and then the dinner table, and then she's like and she came in and her mother was like, oh, meet my daughter Timmy. She's just coming back from her studies in the UK, and she's like, studies, no, rehab. Everybody knows I was in the rehab. Like, she just said it. But that's not even the part that even cracked me up. It was the part where she said, who do I need to fuck to actually get a drink? Oh my god! If you're a Nigerian, imagine making that statement in front of your typical Nigerian parent. I was like, even me, I was like, huh? And yeah, the expression and everything. So that was like the funniest moment for me. And the cringeworthy moment for me was when they supposedly like severed his head from the body, like, ah! Even when you know it's not real, you cannot help but cringe. Like, there's this shudder and all, especially when the supposed blood just splattered and like so that was like a cringeworthy moment for me. And also my heart-touching scene was the friendship they shared at that point when Nancy, Isime, and Ini, and Nancy was like, I really want to go, I want to leave the country, I'm doomed, I'm the one that killed the person. And Ini was like, please don't leave me. And then Nancy was like, no, like, I don't think there's anybody I'd rather have on my side than you. Like, the whole stick together thing. And even towards the end, when Nancy was also freaking out that she's guilty and all that, and Ini was like, if you're guilty, I'm guilty, we're going down together, we're either going down together or it was really good. Like, it gives friendship a kind of hope. So that was like the heart-touching moment for me. So if you have watched the series, please tell me your funniest scenes, and then tell me the cringe-worthy moments you had, and tell me the heart-touching moments you have, and tell me your overall what's the word? Your overall, what do you think? Your overall appraisal of the movie, like, what do you think? For me, it was actually a good movie and all. Although I can't help but say this, my Ramsey knew I do not understand the role he played. I can understand it to an extent, but for me, like, Ramsey, when he speaks, like, he barely said a word in that movie, and he played like a sort of hitman kind of thing. To an extent, it was good as far as seeing him with the whole class and everything, but it still didn't stop me from missing how he would have been if he had played like a much more like important or a much more active role. That's the word to use. I know it was, but overall the movie was actually good. So if you're watching this video, please and you've not watched that movie, please head to Netflix, watch it, then come back here and tell me. And if you've watched it already, please tell me what you think about it. So that's it on this video. Please forgive me if I'm actually over everywhere. It's been a long while. It's been a really hot minute since I did a video, and yeah, that's why I decided that okay, I needed to do this one. And although this is not the video I actually thought I would start up with, but I'm like, why not? So I'll see you in other videos, and I'll get to explain the reasons for my absence so far, for going off the radar, and tell you if I'm really back for it. But until then, stay tuned, watch my other videos, please subscribe to my channel, and please recommend it to somebody. Please, we really need to hit that 1K. Until then, I'll see you again. Cheers. And please watch the movie Bloodsisters. And I'm sure you like this, my new environment, right?